Morning, go to
Good morning.
Job, chapter 38. In verse 16. Job, chapter 38, in verse 16. I've been doing this animal study, and it's pretty cool. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But I said last week that the Bible that says scientific facts, as though it doesn't argue against things that already exist that we can witness. But the Bible also has some really, really cool facts in it. And I was digging into this one a little deeper, and it's pretty awesome. And we're going to read it now. All right, Job 38 in verse 16. It says, this is God coming to Job in a whirlwind, and he starts asking him a series of very rhetorical questions. Now, in and of itself, God is not boasting because he doesn't have to, because he's God. He's merely trying to get Job a better understanding of Job's true place and trying to say that he would reason with God and then being susceptible to the weird things his friends were saying. Now, in verse 16 it says, Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in search of the depth? Now that verse in and of itself is very cool because Job was written a long time ago. The Bible was put together a long time ago, and here we stand. All right, now let's go back to, 1878. All right, the Civil War happened from 1861 to 1865. And in 1878, there was a group of scientists off the coast. This is AD too. There's a group of scientists off the coast of England that found recesses in the ocean. They confirmed that they found a place that was 5.2 miles deep. This is 1878, okay? We're going BC with Job to 1878 is when we finally figure out that the ocean is actually super deep. All right, and in 1977, about 35 years ago, give or take a couple, doing it off the top, about 40 years ago, 1977, they figure out and confirm that there are actual hot springs off the Galapagos. It's called the Galapagos Rift. It's right off the edge of those islands. It's funny to think about from Job's time to modern day, like 8 years after the Civil War happened, and 8 or 9 years after we actually landed on the moon, we confirmed a single fact that God told Job. It's really cool stuff. Yeah. All right, and in Job chapter 39, we're going to continue with this. I don't know, I think animals are cool. I don't generally have a use for a whole lot of them, but I think that God shows us things with animals. We were looking at the ostrich, and we're going to start and this is Job 39 and verse 18, and we're going to start talking about the horse, or more specifically the war horse, and a little bit of awareness that God gave me actually. And it's been pretty cool. This study of the animals in the Bible there's a lot. It's rich. All right, in Job 39, starting in verse 18, and he's still talking about the ostrich here. It's what time she lifted up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider. And in 19, we're going to the horse. It says, Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper? The glory of his nostrils is terrible. He paweth in the valley, and rejoiceth in his strength. He goeth on to meet the armed men. He mocketh at fear, and is not affrighted. Neither turneth he back from the sword. The quiver rattleth against him, the glittering spear and the shield. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage. Neither believeth he that it is the sound of the trumpet. He saith among the trumpets, Ha ha! And he smelleth the battle afar off, the thunder of the captains and the shouting. And then that's the end of that. We'll get into that other one. The hawk's cool. There's cool stuff. All right. Now, Now, in talking about the ostrich up there in 18, it says, what time she lifted up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider. This is actually hand in hand with something else that he's talking about, how strong the horse is. Now, we're not to stand in our own strength because you don't have any. The fact that you woke up this morning is nothing less than a blessing of God, and praise Him forever that He would continue to give us breath, that we can continue in this strength. But the ostrich is absolutely confident that anything that she meets, she'll defeat. The horse also. Is a horse necessarily afraid of you? No. Is a war horse afraid of you? Definitely not, because it was very strenuous. They actually, over generations of time, have forgotten how they used to train war horses. So to be ready for the battle, what are we to be? We're to be trained. We're to be groomed. And through the Word of God, of course.
Amen.
And it says, canst thou make him afraid as the grasshopper? The glory of his nostrils is terrible. He paweth in the valley and rejoiceth in his strength. He goeth on to meet the armed man. And this is him not being afraid at all of any battle that meets him. And Paul says in Philippians, and this is really cool because I was thinking about this the other day. He says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And not only that, because it's just common knowledge to the horse or the ostrich that whatever they meet, they can defeat, because an ostrich is about pretty close to 7 feet tall, can run 35 miles an hour, and a single kick can not only shatter your ribs, but potentially kill you. And the same thing with a horse. I mean, I can do all things through Christ. It's common knowledge. It's absolute, which strengtheneth me, which encourages me, because I know that through Him I can do all things. Like Daniel and the 3 Hebrew children, actually, they said, we're not careful to answer you in this matter, O king, because our God is able to deliver us out of this fire. And even if He isn't, we still won't serve your idol. That is that common knowledge, that equipped, what did it say? That proper equipment that we have to meet any battle that's in front of us and to not be afraid of it, because our God is able to deliver us out of that fire. And this is something that we can hold fast to. And it's cool that we can look in the Bible and just over and over, example after example after example. All right, it says that in 23, it says, the quiver rattleth against him, the glittering spear and the shield. All right, horses are not especially smart, but it's kind of funny that England, back in the 1500s, with their heavy cavalry, ran over half the world. Little did they know, if they were to just look to the Bible, that it would show you that to defeat the horse, you need the spear, as far as that goes. It's funny that it's there. Okay. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage, neither believeth he that it is the sound of the trumpet. He saith among the trumpets, ha ha, and he smelleth the battle afar off, and the thunder of the captains and the shouting. He's rejoicing in his own strength, and we're rejoicing in the strength that Jesus gives us, because He trieth the reins in the hearts. It's kind of funny that they use the word reins there, because Jesus is on my saddle, and I'm a war horse for Jesus. Saith among the trumpets, ha ha. And it's not only the battles that we face that we shouldn't be afraid of, but we should actually, in a sense, be looking forward to them. Because even small battles are great victories in Jesus Christ. And we have the power to defeat anything that's in front of us, as a horse does. That's pretty cool. That's all I got.
Amen.